I'm so excited to introduce you to our guest today. This is Erica Glessing, and you're joining me on the Erica Glessing Show, where I love to interview inspirational entrepreneurs. And this next expert, she and I, it was weird. We in our opening combo, we just were like hitting all these things we both love and we both love to help people with. So it's really a small world. Please welcome Maranda Taylor of Charm and Strategy Consulting. Hi, Miranda.
Hey, how are you? I'm so happy to be here. I'm
I know
doing
it's
good
so
though.
fun to it's really cool the way we can be like anywhere in the world in different
Yes.
time zones and different countries even and then come together. So where are we actually speaking to you from?
So I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, which in the United States is the middle state, and then there's this little sector that's just kind of like over in this corner, and it's right there. Um,
Aw.
it's a big small town. I love it so much.
I live I live on a horse ranch in California and
Ooh.
it's about I don't know, like 40 miles from anywhere. But it's only like 45 minutes from the city, so that's good. So I gonna get the best of both. Best of both.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds. I grew up in a small town in Nebraska, and so like the closest city from us was like 75 miles if we wanted to go to a big box store. So I have worked my whole entire life so that I would not have to do that. Um, and stay in the city. I love cities. Cities are my favorite.
So tell me a little bit about kind of this one of the things we talked about in our pre-chat, and it seems like just from someone I know, I produce videos and people want to be like sort of like be like Mike. Like they want to be like the big thing. They want to model the big thing. They want to like see what someone else is doing and then just go do it themselves. And but we kind of talked about how that doesn't really work. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you think works?
So, one of the biggest things about branding in general, or like if somebody's trying to start something big, whatever it may be, whatever avenue you're in, whatever vertical you're in, whatever you're trying to do, the one thing that you always have to focus on and is most important in your brand is authenticity and being who you are. If you are trying to do a business that you don't have a passion for or you can't be authentic in, it's not for you and it's not going to be successful. And so many people, you see it all the time. You see so many people try to, you know, try these different businesses or different side hustles that just really don't fit them. And it that's why it's not successful, is because of not having that authenticity around it. So one of the biggest things that I talk to my clients about, and I talk to everybody that has a conversation with me about, is just being yourself. I am a very interesting human being. We were both in the pre-talk. We were talking a little bit about mental health, and I am autistic. And I have, we haven't nailed the pin on the donkey or whatever quite yet. But my therapist and I have been talking about ADHD. So we were talking about ADHD in the beginning as well, and that is one of my superpowers. Is that and the fact that I can be authentic in every interaction that I have. I think that is a superpower, and both those mental disorders or whatever you want to call it have made that kind of who I am. And when it comes to branding, authenticity is key. And when I started in real estate, which is how I kind of dipped my foot into having to brand yourself or actually start to market something, that is what happened. Is I just told my
Mm.
broker that I needed to be myself, and she gave me the advice that everybody needs to know who you are, and everybody needs to know who you are, and it has to shine through what you do. And I think
So
so
that's
many people go ahead.
just pause for a second because
Yeah,
I feel like it's really cool that we have this in common.
yeah,
And I don't know, but I got my real estate license when my kids were like one, two, and three.
yeah.
And we were going to sell one house and buy another house. And so it was just really, I just got it so like I wouldn't have to pay all the fees, right? But then I fell in love with the whole business and I just love I didn't realize, like, just being a California native, and you talk about Omaha and how much you love where you are. And I think with real estate, when you love places, like you love the land, and each piece is different, it's just so exciting. And maybe tell us a little bit about what you like about real estate.
Well, so I do something very unique in the real estate space. I will help anybody because your job as a real estate agent. You have to help anybody that comes your way, right? But I have created a process that's a little bit different than most real estate agents, or at least I've coined my own term. In Omaha, Nebraska, I work for a company called Kelly Realty, and they've given me a lot of autonomy on kind of where I want to specialize or kind of what I want to do. And I help people who don't necessarily have a pathway to home ownership. So that's where my heart is in real estate. So I help first-time home buyers, people who sometimes don't have the means and it's just in their mind a dream to own a home that it will never happen and it'll never be obtainable. And I help them obtain that. And I work with them side by side. It doesn't matter what their credit score is, it doesn't matter where they're starting out. We build up people in my little community that I have
Oh,
built. We
that
do
is
not discourage anybody from having a dream because dreams are so important. And honestly, I am a firm believer that nothing is impossible, that everything can happen if you have the right tools in the right places. And one of the most important parts about real estate is, knowing how the process works. And most people don't. And so I put on a lot of educational seminars, and I come from a place of education and of wealth building. And I teach people how to come from nothing and to get those dreams and accomplish those goals. And sometimes my clients don't make it there, but you know what? They get into a better place along the way, and that's what's important. Sometimes homeownership isn't for everybody, and I talk a
mm,
lot about that. I talk a lot about how homeownership is not always for everyone, but there are some really good pros to owning your home. And in Omaha, Nebraska, we're lucky because right now it's still a little bit of affordable, whereas places like California or like the coast, sometimes that dream is just a dream and it's not obtainable for just
right.
anybody who's walking on the street.
All
But
right,
here in Omaha,
let's
go ahead.
change topics a little bit. I
Yeah.
I want I want to talk to the women who are starting their business, and let's just maybe think they're coaching, consulting, and they're
Mhm.
kind of trying to find their chi. And what recommendations do you have for someone who's kind of like seeking to build a really sustainable business, but keep their family, keep their life, like I think you and I have been able to do, right?
Yeah, I'm a single mom of two kids and they're 3 and 4. And the only way that I am able to give them the life that I want to give them is through business ownership. So I get that wholeheartedly. And my biggest piece of advice is this is write down your values and set boundaries around your values and create your business around that. Because if you don't, if you become a people pleasing machine, one of two things will happen. You will either burn out and try to help everybody that you possibly can and do things because you think that's what has to happen and sometimes go against your values and you'll feel icky. Or B, you will realize that you don't want your values anymore and you'll just throw them out the window and nobody wants that. So anytime somebody is wanting to get into any kind of business, I that's the first question I ask them is what are your values? What
I
do you
love it.
value?
Thank you so
Um,
much. Thank you for coming. It's just amazing how as fast these interviews go. How can we reach you and find out more?
you can just honestly just Google Maranda Taylor, Omaha, and you'll find me. But the best way is you can get a hold of me and my team at www.charm, CHARM, and AND strategy, STAR. Well, I don't know how to spell strategy. Oh my goodness. STRATEGY
TEGY.
.com. It will be in the things. Honestly, I'm like the worst speller ever. But
Yeah.
yeah. So
Thank
yeah,
thanks so much for coming.
yeah. Thank you.